allow the two days. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. Politico, this one not day off in mind. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, my ego don't come, my people make you shout, my ego don't come, my ego. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary na ibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní lè gbádìyẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra yìí. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àníyàn sọ́ra yìí. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra yìí.
Ọlọ́pàá tún gba rìbá Máyégún máa wí àní ẹ̀sùn raki Máyégún ti dé. Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. Welcome to another session, because this is Máyégún Live. So thank you so much for joining me. And tonight, just before we delve into this, kindly take a moment to read the description of this broadcast and like it, share it as far and wide as you can, to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends by telling them all that Máyégún today, Máyégún is live. And if you have done that, thank you. So tonight, we are starting with the restart of the illegal trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And for those of us who have been following the persecution, right, in the last 10 years, starting from when Boko Haram first kidnapped him to the time Boko Haram attempted to kill him after a court granted him bail, to the time they went to Kenya to kidnap him again and then illegally renditioned him back to Nigeria and back to their court. In that same court where he was also freed, that he had no case to answer simply because of the process, the legal process took by Boko Haram's government in violating international laws, all just to satisfy the fantasy of a bloodthirsty Boko Haram at the time. Then Boko Haram did is disobeyed the court, disobeyed their laws, abused their own system. He got away with it, and Nnamdi Kanu is still being locked up. We are coming to the nitty-gritty of the matter. I don't know, I just feel like now that they have assigned a new judge to make it look like this was, so this is 2015 all over again. They've brought witnesses. Among them, among the agreement, they said they agreed with this new judge. The witnesses against Nnamdi Kanu kind of presented their evidence in camera behind the curtain or behind the screen, it's called. But just before we, again, like I said, just before we delve into it, you can possibly just sing this anthem with me. And then we'll come back to this.
Oh, ye do IPOB. Oh, Mary, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri, Mary, Nandi, win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance the three. Unapuri Mary Nande bo onye do IPOB. O Mary wone lizu mbiroya. Abakare Mama Daora. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoyi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoyi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoyi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoyi Mary Nnamdi. Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoyi Mary Nnamdi. Oh.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Nnamdi. That's the anthem. And let me give you the background to all of that. In case this is your first time, right? You are opportuned to even hear this. Like this part of whatever you've been fed with. At a time in Nigeria, Nnamdi Kanu was like the thorn on the flesh of the typical one Nigerianist. Nnamdi Kanu, who in himself is a prince, decided to use one very, very viable and powerful tool of communication, social media, to tell the truth about that contraption called Nigeria. Not many people loved him when it all started. A lot of people were offended by his tone. Some were offended by his bluntness. Others were offended by his ego, while many others were jealous of his acceptability. All of this coupled together happened in the last 10 years when Nnamdi Kanu decided to tell all of us the truth about why this contraption is what it is and why it will remain what it is and why the Igbos should endeavor to opt out. Now, none of this is in any way illegal, okay? Free speech and then self-determination. But because of the way Nigeria is, the people never really came together to say they want to form a country. And the story of this forceful union, where we were now left to try and make it work, while others whose purpose of setting it up is purely for commercial purpose only. Now, the people who are now trapped in this system, disagreeing with themselves enough that it's obvious that they can't govern themselves simply because the system that rewards criminality, ethnicity, tribalism, and kept people in perpetuity of poverty, that is not a system that anybody should fight or bleed to save. His message was very clear. And just like myself too, right, is somebody who believes that you cannot continue to talk about a problem without talking about those who are responsible for the problems, the past, the present, and those who are angling to continue the business. His message was not popular, especially among the one Nigerianists. But over time, all his teachings began manifesting. I mean, it became so obvious that even his own ardent, like his toughest or harshest critic became his strongest supporter. Something that the system, especially in the eastern part of Nigeria, continue to wonder. You see, whenever they want to denigrate them, they will say, when did our Igbo people become this? That somebody is now controlling them. Can you imagine? Igbo people that can never, or they forgot the fact that everyone is a walking victim of Nigeria. You just need somebody to knock your head back to life, to understand that your continuation of keeping the whole contraption together, the way it is to the detriment of yourself, your life. It just takes somebody to knock the sense into your head. Unfortunately, people have been so buried in this level of a bullish system, right? That they've become comfortable to some extent. Like they've devised means of managing it, cope system. Nnamdi Kanu touched on the political class, traditional rulers. It touched on the religious class. It touched on tribes, ethnic, and they received the most virulent critic from Nnamdi Kanu are the Igbos. Generally, if you have ever listened to him, but that adventure did not win Nnamdi Kanu friends, or many friends. But guess what? He won him true friends who cut across even the entire length and breadth of that contraption, far and beyond the Igbo land, the Biafra land itself, right? Even like far and beyond the entire continent of Africa today. You can't bury the truth. Facts are very stubborn. And that happened to be his weapon. And that happened to be his undoing. And that is what put the target on his back. And because of that is the reason why the establishment in Nigeria continue to violate all laws, including their own laws and international laws. Shamelessly adding to the horrible record brought upon the country by the rogues in charge of the country for decades now, right? Human rights abuses. But we've discovered that the issue of Nnamdi Kanu is beyond just Nigeria, just Igbo land. It is beyond just Nigeria. As much as you have a very strong, hateful, selfish local actors, we also have those selfish, exploitative, external factors too. So for the past 10 years, Nnamdi Kanu has been in and out of courts, prison, and what have you, even like running for his life in the hands of those who swore to bleed even to the last person that wants Biafra. They've spent hundreds of billions of your money on different kind of propaganda, lobbyists in America, just to try to make sure that they deepen the light of that campaign, while the injustice continues. Because the real selling point of Nnamdi Kanu's message is the fact that there is no change in sight, there is no adjustment, there is no plan to actually fix things in Nigeria by the criminals in Nigeria. So the more they try to want to shut people up for speaking up, the more people are turning on the ring lights now, even digging deeper to understand the concept of Nigeria or one Nigeria, right? So the last 10 years, an innocent man has been subjected to the most brutal, inhuman, right? Or inhumane kind of a treatment simply because he is asking what every one of us should be asking. If this contraption is not working, if this contraption will not work, why can't we just renegotiate the entire arrangement? For real, set boundaries, protect ourselves, defend ourselves. All these are normal human rights. I mean, it's actually there in that their Geneva Convention, right? Or where you do not have a choice, where you are not treated as a citizen, where you are treated as a piece of shit by the rogues who are living off you, there will always be some of us that will rebel. They said not to actually follow the, what they call the, the status quo. So an innocent man has been painted, all sorts, punished, locked up, tortured, denied access to his medication, denied access to his family on several occasions, mentally tortured, traumatized, and still he kept his faith in what he strongly believes in, something that many of us probably don't even have. Many of you who are very good in judgment, sitting right now, telling us how he didn't do it right, or he didn't do it well, this and that. In any of that, even if you don't like him, nobody deserves to be treated unjustly, even if you don't like him. If he's done anything wrong, the right thing for everyone is what? To have a fair hearing, a fair trial, an unbiased, uninfluenced kind of like a trial. That is not what Nnamdi Kanu is getting. Even those of you who want him locked up or even killed, at least do it the right way. The last time they attempted it, he defeated them in their own court. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. You like him, you don't like him. There's one thing he said, which he strongly believes in, right? If you truly believe that the agitation for Biafra that he, Nnamdi Kanu, champions, right, is a waste of time because the Igbos are comfortable in Nigeria. If that is your strong belief, how about you let the Igbos conduct a referendum and decide that? And he said, if the Igbos choose Nigeria, you will never see him again. You will never hear from him again. And he will never talk about Biafra agitation again. Nobody took the challenge. Everybody calls him name. They want him to be what Nigeria described him to be. The real terrorists, human rights abusers are telling you that a man that they dread so much deserves all of this under the table kind of like a justice system. I mean, I'm not asking you to like him. I'm just asking you to take a look at what injustice looks like. Guess what? In Nigeria, the only democratized thing that everybody is getting a share, whether you are a rich man or a poor man, whether you're from the east or you are from the west, the north or from the south, it doesn't matter where you come from, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, or you are like, old or young, it doesn't matter. The only thing that is democratized in Nigeria is the injustice everyone suffers. In case if you don't know, every child in Nigeria, by your law, deserves to get education, which means Nigeria must actually send them to school. You know, some of you will say, so now government say make you go born. But in your law, it says every child, your government, that one is the violation of the children's rights in Nigeria, especially the children who have been exposed to poor education and those who have actually been denying that. That is violation. And they are in their millions. Not having electricity in this 21st century is an abuse of human rights. It's actually considered as, a bit of, terrorism as well. It is like your government is terrorizing you, denying you access to electricity, access to healthcare in this 21st century. Is human rights. To those of you who have been denying it, for real, they have violated your right. That's an injustice against you. Oh, then the primary one, the number one job of the government is to protect lives and properties. But guess how many of you who have now ended up in the den of the owners of Nigeria, the terrorists who captured Nigerians like they are in a game reserve, hunting animals and counting them and rejoicing and celebrating how many of them are in their captivity and how much they sold the animals. So they failed you in that regard, meaning in that, the government denying you all of your rights. So that is that, right? So injustice is democratized in Nigeria enough that the sham trial of Nnamdi Kanu is a textbook definition of all that is wrong with the entire institutions in Nigeria to start with. So finally, they assigned him a new judge after sort of rejecting the compromised Bintam Yanko. And then the new judge decided, okay, yeah, we're going to start all over again, in which they will present their case, they will present their, their witnesses, and then the defense will pop up and decide the kind of a move for bail. and then they will begin to negotiate bail or no bail. Then the judge will decide when they do their political influence to release him or not to release him. Just like it played the last time. That's what they want to start again. 10 years ago, this drama started. All for what? Where the real killers, murderers who are hunting and, killing Nigerians are currently being pardoned, like pampered, in the last 10 years. So today, Nnamdi Kanu appeared before this new judge to listen to this DSS witness. I have a manuscript of that. I may read a part of that for us this evening. But when Onyendu arrived, the court this morning,
Ano puta.
Look at you.
Oh, there we go. Adam. Where is he gonna sit? Oh. I don't know, Param knows. Yeah, you can. Okay. I don't know. Okay, there. Who drops this?
So that was the arrival, the exchange of pleasantries and all of that. So then it was agreed. Yeah. I am going to read to you the, what do you call it? The transcript of the account of the witness, the first witness. They called him PW1, and it's kind of identified as AAA or so, and it was to testify against Nnamdi Kanu behind the camera, meaning it won't appear physically. So it did not appear physically. So they said that they agreed. The prosecuting counsel applied an ex parte application, right, to have the witness or the witnesses testify behind the screen, to have the witness's identity protected, to display a recorded audio as evidence, and the motion was granted by the judge. So the first witness that gave account of when they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu 10 years ago in Lagos. What was it like? This was what transpired in that courtroom. And the credit for this should go to this, this young man. General Somto is one sort of like tough nut, right? One of the Biafran or IPOB tough nuts, okay? So now he's been like reporting, right? So the text or the transcript, witness number one is called, So the witness number one said he is an officer of the DSS. So he has worked with the DSS for 18 years. Says he knows Nnamdi Kanu as the IPOB leader and Radio Biafra. So he said, the witness number one, so he said, he was sent on a mission with his team to arrest Nnamdi Kanu at Golden Tulip Hotel in Lagos. He went with his team to the hotel, but the hotel management wouldn't allow them, as the management claimed they didn't have any guests by that name, Nnamdi Kanu. Subsequently, the DSS leader mandated that a room-to-room search be conducted in the named hotel. So they went back to the hotel, met with the manager, and told them the instructions they got from the DSS leader. They were then told Nnamdi Kanu was in room 303. Initially, Nnamdi Kanu resisted arrest when we got to his room. But Bolaji, one of us, talked with him and he calmed down. We then packed his bags, including his broadcasting items. When we got to his hotel room, the room looked like a broadcasting studio with microphones. We left with him to the command office in Lagos, where the items we got from him were listed on a sheet of paper. Nnamdi Kanu confirmed the items were his. So the list containing the items recovered from Nnamdi Kanu has been accepted and marked as exhibit. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was interviewed after he was brought to the DSS, and the interview was recorded. So the court demanded for the recording of that first interview of Nnamdi Kanu by the DSS. So to those of you who probably will remember or should remember should remember the day that the DSS kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from court. It was not that nice, as the guy pretended to report in his witness or what have you there, right? So let's continue the text. So it wasn't nice. It was assaulted, where you have a lot of pushing, kicking, and stuff like that, right? Anyway, so the witness finally continues, okay? Said, so after the video interview, my boss asked me to take Nnamdi Kanu in for a written statement, which I did. Nnamdi Kanu wrote his statement, signed, and thumbprinted on it. So the statement has been brought and the witness verified it. The statement dated October 15 has been admitted in exhibit. So the written statement made on the day of his arrest by DSS has been read to the court. Items recovered in bag A, so they listed them, what they found on Nnamdi Kanu. There was nothing incriminating, nothing, what's that again? There was nothing criminal found on him. So they listed all they found on him. So they found the bag of, the laptop, but it's a black laptop, multi-mix transmitter, mini white note Apple iPad with pouch, one gray Apple iPad with pouch, one gray MacBook with pouch, one gray MacBook again with case, one mini drone sound with a speaker. So 2 mini white speakers, one large computer mouse, one white adapter, one laptop adapter, one cartoon bag with laptop. So another bag, this one is bag A. So the one they say items recovered from Nnamdi Kanu's bag B. So they found 3G modem, Glow modem, like 2 3G modem, 2 Glow modem, Glow Hawaii modem, MTN modem, Etisalat, flash drive, camcorder, and recorder in a black pouch, MacBook Pro adapter, microphone stand, Philip headphone, Radio Sharp microphone with cord, pro-sound microphone with cord, 4G lit modem, a bunch of cards, power adapter for mixer, Easy Blaze white modem, Samsung phone, black Motorola phone, one Nokia phone, black Samsung, black phone, the Link black modem, 8G flash drive, extension wire adapter, a pair of shoes, a belt, ciderwood sneakers, footwear. That's the second bag. The third bag, what they found, items they found in those bags, according to their record, which they, according to them, they represented them in court today. So the third bag, black Softec wristwatch, 2 singlets, sealed Hermes perfume, trinkets, Pockham perfume, Frederick Peckham wristwatch, Diesel wristwatch, Alexandra Christie collection wristwatch, club wristwatch, 10 items altogether. Fourth bag, they found 3 bank MasterCards, copies of documents, copy of IPOB complimentary card, documents tagged IPOB, 1 white clipper, 1 bottle of medicine, Oman perfumes, 2 mini scented oil, 1 empty black purse, Nigerian passport bearing the names Oku Kanu, Nwaneka Beya, Nnamdi Ugozishuku. British passport bearing the name Oku Kanu, Nwaneka Beya. Then black purse again. Passport holder, card holder, box of Rocaden wristwatch, 4 bundles of cards. These were the items they found on who Nigeria said was a terrorist. At least, when you look at the APC, Egbekegbe, in the last 10 years, now that is the man. Nigeria used the state resources, right, to announce to the world that they have captured somebody that wants to break Nigeria. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu said his intention is to break up Nigeria with truth. You get it now? I'm going to destroy Nigeria with truth. So there is nothing like, oh, we found a pistol, we found AK-47 gun, or we found this, we found that. They found gadgets of broadcasting. When they asked Bukwari a while back, right, why Nnamdi Kanu was a dangerous person, he said Nnamdi Kanu brought in broadcasting equipment to Nigeria to come and be broadcasting about Biafra. These equipment were capable of dividing and destroying Nigeria. That's what he said. And that's what made Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist. To these mofos who are watching terrorists slaughter Nigerians like there is actually no real government in that place. But his lawyers have a bit of an explanation to do.
From PW1.
Are you comfortable? We're very comfortable, but first of all, we thank God for today. We thank God that the matter has eventually kicked off without rancor. You know, you needed to have been in court to observe the proceedings. All the parties cooperated, and PW1 testified. PW1 is Mr. AAA, as he was designated. He investigated the matter 10 years ago, and today he came and gave his evidence and tendered documents. The matter is very simple. The state has a case against our client, and we are defending him. And for the first time, the matter has been opened, and we have heard what the evidence is. On Friday, we are coming back to cross-examine him. But in the main, the matter has commenced on a good note, very sound note, very civilized trial. And we hope by the grace of God we'll continue on this note and get to the end.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Reason why we have to say something in addition to what the SAN has said. These gentlemen here, these lawyers standing with me here, are members of the old guard. We have been there from the get-go, so we know the nitty-gritty of this case. Well, what I can add is we are finally here. The government is finally having the trial that it desires. Our position still remains unchanged despite the ongoing trial. That our client is innocent of the charges, that the case is driven by political considerations, and in the end, the innocence of our client will be established. So we take it from here to 2nd May, when we are going to subject the government witness who testified today. We are going to submit him to, or subject him to cross-examination, and then the truth shall begin to be revealed to everybody. Thank you very much.
Right.
We appreciate you always being around to cover this very political trial that has been ongoing for the people I'm with here are my brothers and sisters. We are all Biafrans of one mind. The lawyers are here, some of them. The others have dispersed to various locations where we are going to meet later. Tomorrow we are going to the DSS to meet with Onyendu. Today, what happened, for those of you, and one know Onyendu, we are Prince Prime Boy, I was in America, Dr. Sylvester here, and Dr. Chukwu Emeka of the Igbo, of the American military veterans of Igbo descent here. I be grateful for the solidarity they came to show their fellow Biafrans, their fellow Igbos, and to Onyendu and the legal team and Onyendu. They flew all the way from America to show solidarity. We are very, very grateful, and this thing goes in and Mary at the end of the day. So what happened in court today, as a way of recapping and informing those who didn't come to court, was very simple. Finally, the government is getting the so-called trial that it has always desired as of late. It didn't desire this trial for the past 10 years, but for the past 6-7 months, the government has been intent on having a trial. Well, the trial has commenced today, and we have seen, those of us in court, that the case rings very hollow. The prosecution witness was examined on direct examination by the prosecutor, and he made an application, meaning the prosecutor made an application before then for the witness to be marked or to be screened away from the bird's eye view of the general public. The only person that could behold him from our own side of the aisle was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, because the law required that. So he was testified from behind the screen. And you know, when people testify behind the screen, you know what happens. Official lack of comment. But not really about it, so he has given his direct examination, and the matter was adjourned to 2nd May for continuation of trial. So what is going to happen on 2nd May is very specific and simple. We are going to subject that witness to cross-examination. We are going to ask him to explain certain things. So his own answers to the questions posed to him today will not be taken as true unless and until we have finished cross-examining him on 2nd May. So we are very hopeful that in the end our victory is assured. We shall prevail, and we shall be able to show through this trial they are having, or they started having today, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any offense known to law. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Wait.
He's committed no crime, right? Known to law. That is very right. Now, to the supposed DSS, who I believe are also watching my video right now. So somehow, a mofo can decide to flag me as a threat because I've got microphone, I've got camera, and I've got tablet, I've got iPad, then I have a laptop. And I have a platform called Mayegun's Diary Political. Nnamdi Kanu has Radio Biafra. Then he's so like powerful when it comes to the social media too. A place that with the billions of naira that Nigeria is spending on vuvuzelas to tell lies to Nigerians, majority of them still have to go and listen to Nnamdi Kanu, what he has to say, which her name admirers, like I said earlier, from across the Niger and beyond. Now you will see a lot of people standing up and speaking up for him because they can't believe that the supposed DSS of Nigeria reported microphone, camera, and what have you, laptop, iPad, as sophisticated broadcasting equipment. That was what Boko Haram said. Boko Haram said Nnamdi Kanu came to Nigeria. He did not use Nigeria passports. He has 2 passports, as if to say Boko Haram's children don't have 2 passports, British and Nigerian passports. But he said Nnamdi Kanu had 2 passports. That he entered Nigeria, yeah, not with the Nigerian passports, which is in itself a lie told by a demented presidiot of that contraption, the lifeless Boko Haram. You can't use your British passport to travel to Nigeria without a visa. Right? But he was convinced. He said, yeah, that's what happened. The Nnamdi Kanu brought in microphone, mixer, laptop, camera. Yeah? And when they entered his room in his hotel, it was like a studio. So that was the sophisticated equipment that they brought to come and break up Nigeria, inside Nigeria. Please, you say, they tell them, say they get Shana 3G, I've been a 4G. When you look at their network in most places, right? You probably will be getting GPRS, not even like 1G anywhere. And then Nnamdi Kanu will leave his London flat, right? Relocating to that Nigeria simply because, anyway, that was their own theory. But there's something some people are already pushing because part of the reason why they couldn't try Nnamdi Kanu, right, for treason. Shemeka tell you, a while back when they first built a case against him, which was no case. So they charged Nnamdi Kanu, right, for treason, treasonable felony, which is a capital offense. If he's found guilty, he would have to be killed. So treason against 2, they said the treason, right, to break up Nigeria from his flat in London. So the ECOWAS court, the Nigerian court, right, then ruled that if the whatever Nnamdi Kanu did or any crime you said he committed was committed in London, then I think you either bring London to Nigeria to be part of the case, or you would have to take him back to London to try him there. So they dropped the idea of treasonable felony. They now said, okay, that is encouraging young people to disobey the constituted authority and was encouraging them to promote the breakup of Nigeria from his London flats. So that too didn't fly. So, and I think what they are trying to frame up in this witness stuff right now is not just about the sophisticated equipment anymore. His hotel room was like a studio. So when you paint that picture, then you can easily just say, oh, he did it here. So let's remove London, the same way they removed the DNA test for Boko Haram, when one of the charges against Nnamdi Kanu was he called Boko Haram a clone, Jubilee al-Sudani. And that has caused Boko Haram emotional distress, which is against section, subsection, trashy 1999 constitution. When they said that, okay, the only way you are going to tell me that this Boko Haram is not a cloned Boko Haram, is not Jubilee from Jubilee al-Sudani from Sudan, we would have to do DNA. Bring one Boko Haram's child and take a bit of enzyme from Boko Haram, if they match, then I agree I am guilty. He even said, if Boko Haram's DNA matches Boko Haram's DNA matches any of his kids, right, it will stop the agitation for Biafra. Guess what? They dropped that from the case. Now, listen, this may just be a coincidence because it's just like the rest of the case, right? It is all baseless, trumped up, nonsense. You can't defend it. So you have to cook up something. You have to get, you have to get a false witness. People who are going to bear false witnesses before you can, and then get a judge that will ignore all the technical stuff, right? All the lies, and just sentence him. That's the deal. But it's not really been so smooth for them. It hasn't been. On the one hand, behind the scene, some of them are making moves to say, let's use political means. On the other hand, others are trying to say, why don't you just take a settlement? This whole thing itself has been dragging for too long. This Biafra, that. Why don't you just go back to your family, right? And will you take this with you? He kept rejecting. The guy has become someone that, I don't know, to me, it's like they have no idea what to do to him anymore, or to do with him anymore. They have no idea on how to close this, have a closure and just say, you know what, they go. What happened is that just go and do your own thing. The whole country don't Africa already anyway, because there's so much to deal with right now, but they just don't know how. They don't. One of the attendees in the, one of those people who went to give solidarity today had this to say.
We have not woken up to understand that you cannot just arrest people because they have equipment on them. When the interview was going on, the leader of IPOB was mentioning in that particular interview that he was just broadcasting, telling the world about what the British government is doing. And there's nothing wrong with him telling the world that we deserve our rights and we deserve what is in London over here. To be treated fairly, to have what they have, whatever they enjoy, we need to enjoy it in this country. We don't have to be fighting each other. I think that's what he was trying to communicate. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. My name is Dr. Sylvester Anya, President of American Veterans of the Deputising.
All right. Thank you.
All the way from the United States. Emeka, did I get the name right? By the way, I'm gonna. Somebody was like, was it not from Kenya? Sorry, Mike Smith. No, it's all right. You've mixed it up, right? It all started 10 years ago. And I think it was around October 2015 when Nnamdi Kanu was first kidnapped at that Tulip hotel in Lagos in the middle of the night. The same way they kidnapped Omoyele Sowore from an hotel, if you remember, right? DSS. That's what that was way back. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was the first person to be kidnapped by Boko Haram's government few months after taking over Nigeria. Then 3 years later, sometimes in 2018, the court now said he should be released on bail. It was on bail when the Nigerian army, on the order of Buratai the Butcher, ordered the soldiers to take over Afaraoku in Abia State, where Nnamdi Kanu is from. They attacked his family house, shot and killed at least 28 young people. The people of the communities were tortured inside the mud water like that, in the puddled water. Yeah, it was horrible. Then they declared Operation Python Dance after that. But luckily, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped unhurt, but their family dog was not that lucky. This brutal, evil terrorists in uniform, they shot and killed the family dog when they couldn't find him. 2 years later, Nnamdi Kanu resurfaced, this time in Israel, right? Like a year, 2018, 2020. So when it resurfaced, that automatically, right, rebirth is based, because nobody heard anything from him for a very long time. There were so many stories. He's being killed. They took his body, or they disposed of his body here, you know. Then it resurfaced. And I remember then that the Buhari idiots at the time, they were making a pushback. They said that wasn't Nnamdi Kanu. That was, Uche from something, right? Just like their own pushback. So Nnamdi Kanu now doubled down. This time around, the first Nnamdi Kanu, the new Nnamdi Kanu is like a more matured. When I say matured, it's not like in an offensive way. I mean, this time, he started kind of like building bridges beyond Biafra. He was willing to speak to other dissidents, right? Those who have a stone to grind with Nigeria. He was able to kind of like become like a statesman, somebody who is like, okay, this is my belief. But without the liberation mind of this other group of people, mine is likely going to drag on for so long. He met with Omoyele Sowore, met with some of these Middle Beltons and their leaders, met with some of these Northerners too. Something that ordinarily people would never imagine will happen. So he became a different and more kind of like, deeper person, so to say. So firing them this time, it wasn't just talking about Biafra alone. It started educating other people from other places whose stories have been sort of like, diluted in a way. I think that earned him more enemy as well, that this time they had to trace him down to Kenya. They even gave a contract to the Interpol, right? The Interpol couldn't do anything because Nnamdi Kanu still goes to Africa. But it was Kenya that took the bait, not Interpol. They were never involved in the kidnapping and then the renditioning of Nnamdi Kanu. They came to court and said it. They said, no, we're not involved. We had no clue because they were not. From his own personal, detailed, shared story of what happened, it was in Kenya, right? On an invitation of a friend, not a new friend, not a new person, a friend, right? And when he got to Kenya, then he had other people who were also coming into that same Kenya at that same time, like a few days after. The fact that he was able to, actually checked himself into an hotel, into an hospital for a quick checkup in a Kenya hospital means that it wasn't in that country for anything illegal. It was there, like, legally. That he even drove a car to the Jomo Kenyatta airport to pick up his arriving friend from another country, just for this chat, right? That was where the Kenyan secret police swerved on him. There was no resistance, there was no fight. It was just like, okay, they introduced themselves. He introduced himself. They told him that he had to come with them. He left with them, right? And from there, they said they received a report from Nigeria that if they see Nnamdi Kanu in their country, he is there to meet the Al-Shabaab. That the Al-Shabaab terrorists of Kenya, they are working with Nnamdi Kanu. This was the supposed intel sent by Malamu from Nigeria to Kenya. The excuse given by the Kenya to Nnamdi Kanu himself. They tortured him. In fact, he said they chained him to a spot on the ground, cuffed him, tortured him for a whole week. And it became obvious that they were given wrong intel. This person is not a terrorist. In fact, he's not here secretly. So he's not here to hurt us or what have you, like we were told. But unfortunately, the deal was if they found him, they should hold him. But Nnamdi Kanu said he told them, he said, but now that you know that I've got nothing to do with anything they told you, could you please let me go? He said, we're so sorry, man. We're so sorry. We can't do that. Because as we speak, there is a private jet coming from Nigeria to take you. And that's exactly what happened. They drugged him from Kenya, cuffed him straight to Nigeria. Put a black clothing like that, like a hood, to cover his head. and they took him straight to Bintown Yako in Abuja to receive a detention, sort of like a detention order to keep him for 21 days. That was the beginning of the second one. And that one is in itself, it's almost 4 years now. Guess what? After they kidnapped him from Kenya, and he appeared in front of Bintown Yako, Bintown Yako sentenced him straight up, found him guilty of what was never debated. He appealed. At the appeal, the appellate court said Nnamdi Kanu had no case to answer. Nothing. No court should try him because his rendition was illegal, and therefore every other legal step that you might want to take will remain illegal. It should be returned back to Kenya. All his properties returned to him, and possibly with an apology. Guess what? During that period as well, Nnamdi Kanu actually won a case that is over 2 billion naira awarded against Nigeria by their own court. Malamo pleaded that they shouldn't let Nnamdi Kanu go just now, right? That they should wait for the Supreme Court to interpret if Nnamdi Kanu is not a flight risk, if Nnamdi Kanu this and that. That's how they kept him again. They disobeyed the court that said let him go. The Supreme Court of Injustice agreed with the appellate court that Nnamdi Kanu has been treated unjustly. His bail that was revoked was wrong, right? The attempt on his life was wrong. But that Nigeria want to try him for whatever they are accusing him of is not wrong. That they illegally renditioned him from Kenya is not wrong. But they should allow him to go free and defend himself. Like he should be released and defend himself. All of this in the last 3 years, right? While terrorists who have been pardoned continues to slaughter Nigerians with reckless abandon. You know what happened in Borno State today? I'll show you. 26 people traveling from a place called Ran. Ran is a very popular place for the IDPs. It was in Ran, the Nigerian Air Force bombed the IDP, people who were running away from the Boko Haram terrorism, camped somewhere. Babashir Lawal, remember him? Yeah, Babashir Lawal. He was the secretary to the government of the Federation of Nigeria then. The guy used 242 million naira to clear grass where the refugees were staying. There was no tent, there was no real house, there's no real food. He said they cleared grass with a 242 million naira to avoid snakes biting these residents. That's what he said, right? Ran. So in order to cover up when the National Assembly began investigation of that under Bukola Saraki, you know what happened? Suddenly, the Nigerian Air Force received an intel that Boko Haram were gathering in Ran, and therefore they should go and bomb them. Guess who were the Boko Haram gathering? The IDP camp that millions and billions of naira have been expended by the thieves who promised to return them back to their homes. They were in the Boko Haram intel. They didn't bomb them just once as a mistake. They bombed them 3 times. Like, drop one, go back, drop another one, go back, drop another one. Health workers, NGOs, the IDPs running away from terrorists, they were all blown into miseries. Nobody was trying. I mean, nobody kind of like was punished for that. I just thought I should say that. I mean, every time I see Ran in Borno State, that story comes back to my head and be like, may Nigeria not happen to you. Jami, Zuala. When it happens, I can use your story to teach others too. They then pray for you, you know, say, if they swear for you, you know, go react. 26 supposed travelers were blown up today by an IED, yeah, improvised explosive device. Okay, they said they were traveling from Ran. So I want to pick up at the name again. They said 26 people died in the blast, comprising of 16 men and 4 women and 6 children, right? So they were traveling from Ran to Gamboru when they hit a roadside explosive in Borno State today. So they have buried what is believed to be the remains of the latest victims. As Nigerians are being bled by all kinds of terrorists across the country, Tifnumbu and his gang and his co-travelers, they are not bothered. Yeah, they might pretend like, which is all talk, no action, right? They don't care. They are more concerned about the next election. And that will be validated by those who will make it to that time and beyond. Anyone who get killed now, fine, they are unbothered. Okay? So, and those are your leaders, unfortunately. Shameless one at that. Here you have a man that was arrested by the EFCC for stealing 1.3 trillion, not billion, no, trillion naira. Do you know what that means? You are going to see 1 billion. Show me 1 billion. That's a 1 billion in 100 places. Are you following me now? Then in another 100 places. Sorry, in another 10 places. So what that means is that you say 1 billion naira in 1,300 places. That's what he's told. Do you understand what that means in context, right? I know you do, but let me explain it again, right? Let's take 1,000. How many of us are watching Mayegun right now? Okay. We have about 1,007 to 1,800 of us, YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so you guys on YouTube, you are currently about 1,500 or 1,600, Abi. And let me take 1,300 of you. It doesn't matter where you are living. Whether you are living abroad, or whether you have money, or whether you don't get money, no matter. I could just pick all of like 1,300 of you. And Okowa begin to write a check for you from what he stole, right? That means I can automatically have 1,300 billionaires watching Mayegun right now. Do you want to know what that is in dollars, right? Let's use dollars. The time he stole the money, the exchange rate in Nigeria was 420 naira to $1. Which means if you have to look at the depreciated value of your currency today and the inflation, right? So you can say the 1.3 trillion that he stole for 8 years is the value of it today. You say it's probably like 1.3 times 4.5. So that's going to be like 5.2, 5.3. So it will be like a 5.3 trillion naira. You see, 5.3 trillion naira up today is the same value as the 1.3 trillion that Okowa stole. So in dollars, when you use that, right, we are talking about $3 billion. Go and Google the billionaires in the world and check how many people who have a $3 billion as their assets. You will see that it is not beans. $3 billion. That's how much he stole. Of course, he didn't steal it alone. You know, they don't steal alone. He's the head, right? So the EFCC invited him to come and have a tea with them, according to him, not arrested. And the game of politics is not a morality game or what have you. No. So he has no regrets for leaving PDP to go and join APC. Less than 2 years when he was running to be vice president of Nigeria in PDP. Those are your leaders. He said he's doing it for the sake of the people of Delta State. So it was on Arise News. And Okowa had this to say, to start with.
For my people and all of that. But what some people are saying, and again, your right of reply, is that you decided to leave the PDP, one, because you were sidelined in the coalition talks. You were the vice presidential candidate for the PDP in 2023. But all of a sudden, when the coalition talks led by Waziri Adamawa started, it was the same Peter Obi that had moved away from the PDP that came back, Nasir Rufai. Nobody saw you in all of those coalitions. So is this sour grapes? Okay, if they don't want me, I will go to APC. And to put the question concretely, did you speak with Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar before you took this decision to port, as Nigerians say, from PDP to APC?
Okay, in the first instance, I don't think it's exactly true that I was sidelined in the coalition talks. Because I know that Waziri Alhaji Atiku Abubakar did invite me sometime last year, and I sat with him and he talked about this coalition, and I did offer my advice at that point in time. And as they progressed, we met once again, and I actually did offer my own advice. The advice I gave to him was personal, and I do not think that it is something that I have to talk about in the public. But the real truth is that it's not a question of being sidelined, but it's a question of whether our people, because it's not just about me, because he did invite me, and I discussed the matter with the governor, I discussed the matter with some of the leadership of our party, and they were not quite comfortable with a coalition that was being built that we're already 2 years. The primaries of the parties will start off on next year. So we're just 1 year away from competitive elections. And it does not appear that a vehicle has been confirmed for that coalition. Neither does it appear to us as a state and as a political family that that coalition was going to be able to build strength within the short period of time available. And to that extent, it became worrying for both the governor and the leadership of our political family in Delta State. And we felt that it was difficult to move into that coalition, because it was one of the considerations. As we did say, we had a wide-ranging conversation with stakeholders in 4 different sections. We did consult with the caucus of the party. We did consult with all elected members of the party, from National Assembly, State Assembly, to local government council chairmen, and the honorable commissioners and other top appointees of the government. We thereafter consulted with all the leadership of the party, along with the state ESCO of the party and the local government ESCO and the ward ESCOs represented in the stakeholders meetings. And that meeting resolved that it was best to move in the direction of the APC rather than in the direction of the coalition, because there's still a lot of uncertainty about the coalition, and it was not possible for them to agree that it was best to go into the coalition. As to the PDP, the mind of the leadership had been made up that the way the party is going, we do not believe that we're going to be competitive enough. So we had 2 choices, either the APC or the coalition. And it's not just the majority view. I think it was likely an all person's view that we should actually move into the APC.
Okay, sir.
I mean, if you say that to yourself again and again, at least you'll begin to believe that too. Because they have a lot of gullible people in that contraption, right? Who are those who are fueling the survival of a criminal like that. I mean, if you use social media very well, even in this our midst here just now, we are going to see those who will tell you that they are Okowa supporters and we are haters. Those are the people, like the enablers. Those are those who are fueling the survival of a criminal like this. Without them, these ones will naturally just die off. You know what I mean? And then you have them in thousands. Nigeria can't survive these guys. Loot the money. Join the ruling party and go and enjoy your loot. And then you'll be invited to even loot more if you are interested, in which you are going to be interested, of course. You know, I said, no, I wasn't arrested. I was not in Nigeria. I was abroad and I got invited for some talk by the EFCC. So we had tea. And then, you know, I play with their boss a little bit like that. And then they let me go. It's not because I stole any money. I just went for tea break or tea date.
Okay, Senator, well, your critics have joined this conversation, and they're already sending messages.
Yeah.
Someone just sent me a message saying, I should ask you, that were you arrested by the EFCC or not? And is it true that it was Senator Adams Ushomole who advised you that if you join the APC, your sins will be forgiven once you join the APC? And why are you in a hurry for your sins to be forgiven? So I'm sure some of them will send more questions.
In the first instance, there are no sins to be forgiven because no sins were committed. That is number one. Two, I was not arrested by the EFCC. A communication was sent to me, and that communication arrived at my place. I was overseas at that time. And when I returned, I reported to the EFCC to answer to their queries. And as I said at that time, I communicated to the public at that time, I am not afraid of being investigated because I worked for Delta State, and the people, the large majority of the people, they understand that I did work for them. And because of the work that I did, I have nothing to fear. Today in Delta State, you have 4 universities running and running perfectly and have never gone on strike any one day. 3 of those universities were bettered at my time as governor. Beyond that, if you come to Asaba and go to many of our villages, go to the riverine areas, we have not asked ourselves, why have we had some quiet in the riverine area, especially during my tenure? Because we took infrastructure development to them, and they appreciate it and they cooperated with us. And so many things have been done. They called me Roadmaster. It is the people that gave me that name. There are so many things. When you get into the health sector, free healthcare programs and healthcare insurance program is working well. Free maternal care is working well. Under 5 children, and the governor have continued to be treated free of charge, and things are going on well. So I did well for the people of the state.
Okay.
And yes, petitions can be given
Okowa.
by any. Morality is important in politics. There's no doubt about that. But I don't see any moral question in this. When you belong to a political family, as we were in the PDP at that time, and what you begin to see is very different from your thoughts and your beliefs, then you need to know, you need to work with your people to determine a path to follow. The PDP that we had from the beginning, the PDP that we thought we tried to build, because in all this, yes, they are talking about the PDP. Yes, the PDP was useful to me, but I was also a player in the PDP from the beginning, from the formative stage, through to where we got ourselves to. We worked hard to get through all the elections, and yes, I did make some gain by being in various positions at different points in time. But that PDP that was bettered in 1998, does not appear to me to be the same PDP that we are running at the moment. And as I said, I don't want to criticize anybody. When you're tired of what is going on, and you do not seem to understand what is going on in a place that you call home, then you probably have to step out and find another home. And I think that that is exactly what we have done. I listened to Papa Dan Olase. I respect him quite a lot. And he gave the reasons that, yeah, while he may have his reservations, he has not spoken to me. And I did listen to that where he said he tried to call me and he couldn't reach out to me. I used the same phone number, and I'm very much aware that I have not seen his call because it's somebody I respect quite a lot. But the truth is, the PDP, and he knows for sure that the PDP as of today, that is not ready to be as competitive as it was in the past, cannot be that same vehicle that we must continue to go along with. And he also said, I had my right. And I remember in that conversation, he was also calling for Peter Obi to return back to the PDP. So if he's calling for Peter Obi, who had left Abga to the PDP, and from the PDP to Labour Party, he's calling him to come back to the PDP. The question is that the question of morality in all this does not come to play anymore, because that defeats his argument about morality in all these positions. Because if he's calling for Peter Obi to return to the PDP, he's done a lot of movements. I've got to PDP, PDP to Labour Party, and he's asking to return to the PDP. Then why should my movement now become a moral issue? So when you look at all this, but I believe that I belong to a political family here first in Delta State. And if we entered into a stakeholders meeting and we took a decision, I cannot stand alone. And the governor cannot stand alone. We all agreed that we needed to move in the best interest of the state, in the best interest of our politics, and we believe that we took the right decision.
Nuisance Lele.
So he met the Pope. Do you understand? That's what happened to Okowa. He met a black Pope. And that Pope is Ebola Tifnumbu. And that is why someone who was, I think it was a special advisor to a Bori or something, or maybe commissioner. Then he became a senator. Then he became a governor. This is a guy who has been with them, like I said, excuse me, he's been with them since 1998 or 1999. He said the PDP that he sees right now is not competitive enough. And guess what? The person responsible for, or the person that is partly, because they are all responsible for it, okay. The person that is partly, that is involved in the demise of people destroying people, PDP, with a wicked. So, Obi Akpo, Adolf Hitler, and that is with a wicked. The man that is now working for Tifnumbu in APC and ensuring that there will be nothing causing reconciliation, there will be nothing, you know. Like I said, they are all involved, including Atiku. Baba, no regrets. That is always like running and contesting until probably he passes. I bet they will still print his poster when he's dead. Vote for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He died 15 years ago, but his ambition is not dead. Vote for President Atiku Abubakar. 2045. They are all responsible, but this guy is bailing on the same platform that was giving him almost everything that he is. Somebody said they should probably do a makeover. You know, call your dentist and do a makeover from that money you stole. At least the bling should show. People of Delta should see what and where their money goes, right? But when you look at him and say, where is the money? That's the question. Ask majority of the, where's the money? Right? He has more. Okay, so talking about Obi Akpo Hitler, we're a wiki these guys. The political officer. And this is nothing. He was attending somebody's 70th birthday in Port Harcourt today. And we're a wiki. That's the life. When you look at them, if you go to any of their houses, you will think you are visiting a luxury car mart. There is no car, there is no latest car that's kind of like get produced in any part of the world today. In another 2-3 months, these rogues will pay for it and ship it down to Nigeria as part of their collection, car collection. It's the show of opulence. They have all these mansions they build. When you get inside, you see them like they are selling cars. They are not selling cars, though. There was a time I was invited to join the PDP youth movement in Odogbolu. And our job was to help galvanize and mobilize young people for Babangida in 2003. I was so young then, right? But I missed out. I don't know what happened. They dropped me. But for those who kind of joined and they took them to Minna in Niger States, where those ones who were from Odogbolu, they gave them a bus all the way from Minna. They said they were just telling every group, like they had more than 10,000 or so people who came from all over Nigeria for Babangida for president. And then they said, and Babangida said, this is mansion or manor, and what have you, like, you would think, I mean, they had like thousands, not hundreds, thousands of buses. You know, those IAS buses, so not later, later when I get, what do they call, what's that other bus called? Oma buses, all those fancy ones. No, I'm talking about IAS 10 back. 2003. I've been at 2003, 2002. So people went and they gave every group from every ward in Nigeria, they gave them a bus. To be driving them all over the country, showing Babangida for president, Babangida for president. I don't know if some of you will remember. Now, I'm telling you how some of those buses found their way there, because like, you would think these guys are selling cars. They're selling, you know, vehicles. Anyway, going forward, right? One of the things that people said about Okowa was that he was the shittiest, sort of like a running mate to somebody. I mean, Peter Obi beat them blue-black. Obi scored about 75 or 76% of the recorded allocated votes, okay? And Atiku, Okowa, and Tifnubu shared the rest. But Okowa said he will find out whether he can get electoral value or not. Because that's why he promised them that now that they have joined Tifnubu, this is the biggest, the most, biggest political strategy ever by Tifnubu. Because Okowa said, Baba,
with each other. But otherwise, before yesterday, I had not spoken to Senator Adams Oshomole.
Okay, well, because the front pages today do say that organizations such as EFCC are being weaponized to do coerced defection. But in another breath, Malam El-Rufai has spoken, and he said he feels some of these defections are highly exaggerated and they offer no electoral value. In the same breath, some PDP chieftains have also come out to say, well, Senator Okowa was unable to deliver Delta State in the presidential election, so which people is he really moving with? What do you say to this? Because you've been talking about your people and, you know, so much you did for your people and how much they love you, but when it came to the presidential election, those people didn't choose you. What are your views on these?
Okay, in the first instance, for those who doubt my political reach, they should wait until the next elections. And for those who did doubt my political reach, by the time we went into the governorship elections, it was obvious who were those that were masters of politics on the field. But beyond that, the issue about the presidential election was such that as of 2023, it was a question of North-South politics. You are very much aware of it, that it was a question of North-South politics. The people of the South were likely interested in a Southerner coming in as president after Buhari's tenure. Yes, I ran under my party as vice presidential candidate because I belonged to that political family, and at that time, it was the best choice. But I did realize, even when we were campaigning, that our people were not interested in having another Northerner coming into power at that 2023. And that became a major factor for me. But a decision had been taken at the federal level, at a party level, and I'd already been nominated vice presidential candidate. So what did happen was a question of, oh, I did not seem to follow the path and the thoughts of the people. And I have advised myself that it's important that I need to go with the people. Not because I want to believe in a North-South politics, but generally, when you're a politician, you're playing politics, the views of your people matter. And from the views...
Sorry, that was 2007 when Babangida wanted to succeed Tifnubu. Iruk, but that was your own generation, okay? When they were doing 1 million man march. Was it 1 million or 5 million? 1 million man march for Abacha in 1995. That was way back. This was 2007 when Babangida said he wanted to succeed Obasanjo as a kingmaker. And we all know how that ended though, right? Anyway, somebody who just resigned from Tifnubu's government has come out to tell us that, listen, guys, there's always more talk than the real actions. There are most of all those talk you see in the media about Tifnubu is doing this, Tifnubu is doing that. They are just formalities, oh, right? That he, being inside, if he wanted to just continue to get paid and do nothing, he will still be with them. He was appointed. I'm talking about Hakim Baba Ahmed. That's Dati Baba Ahmed's brother. The reason why he decided to bring this back to you all is that now you can't say he's a scorned man. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's because they didn't give him appointment. Oh, it's because they, you know what I mean? Like, he was appointed. He was given paychecks by Tifnubu for nearly a year, and they have just to sit there and sit duck. He has also somehow helped to shine light on the rumored sidelining of, or the rumored marginalization of a shitty man. Remember, it was said that at a point, there are certain places that a shitty man is not really allowed to move into. Baba Ahmed says nothing close to that. to him, you can easily tell us whether he's also being very cautious, you know, like he's seen as somebody who was inside and must have eavesdropped or heard some certain things, personal secrets. So he had to be very careful what he says out there. I could feel that fear in his voice, right? So no matter what anybody comes out to tell you about Tinubu and his gang, there were those who were inside once. And you can't blame them of being scorned like the hellfire. No matter how much he tries to try not to like spill the things, right? The smart ones can read through this. Now, here is what Baba Ahmed had to say about his time with Kolu and those of you his governor.
Outside. And of course, I mean, there's a lot of politics that floats around, I mean, these things, isn't there? I mean, is it true that you were appointed to give the Tinubu administration northern credibility, especially after a contentious election?
If there was, I wasn't aware of it. I like to believe that on my own merit, I deserve to be appointed advisor on political matters. I didn't need an additional...
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, well, I didn't need an additional regional stamp to become an advisor. And I didn't see any sinister motive. People say, oh, they wanted to keep you quiet, oh, they wanted to buy your voices and everything. I mean, I started that job, I think, when I was close to 69. I'm 70 now, so I know a little bit about...
Well, you look like a young man to me.
Oh, thank you. I knew what I was doing, and I can tell you that I didn't see any sinister motive or a trick involved in appointing me.
But you must have been quite disheartened, I mean, when you came out, having spent a considerable amount of your valuable time, you know, in such a place, and much use wasn't being made of you. Because, I mean, I say this because you then came out and you've just subsequently written an open letter to the president. You suggested that the president has a closed-door style of leadership, is indifferent to complaints about ethnic bias in appointments, and frequently runs the country from abroad whilst attending to personal matters. And you say that he's become something of an isolated leader heading an insular administration. I mean, that sounds pretty strong.
Well, it would have been easier if it was just about me. Am I busy? Am I lazy? Am I just going there to the villa to feel good? I mean, I have a nice title. I'm an advisor to the president. If it was all about me, quite possibly I would have stayed longer. But I felt I could have been a lot more useful to the country and to the administration. I believed also, I don't like for this thing to sound boastful, I believe I had something to offer.
Indeed.
Which was the reason why they asked me to go there. Not to sit idle and to watch a lot of things going wrong. And you don't have an opportunity to fix them. You don't have an opportunity to engage the president, who has all the powers to be engaged. You don't have any channel. I saw the vice president virtually every working day. We talked, we discussed the country. But Nigeria requires a lot more than talking with the vice president.
But did you have an opportunity to meet the president?
No, I didn't.
For your entire time there?
No, I think I met him, I saw him 3 times in the mosque in the villa.
And
we sort of shook hands. No, shake. There's a mosque in the villa, so you would see. But I never had a chance to sit down with President Tinubu.
And why do you think that was the case?
I honestly don't know. I think I think part of the problem is that he never really had time for people like us.
People like you? I mean, you were a special advisor.
Yeah. I'm not sure he had time for a lot of the people working for him. You quoted a part of the letter that I wrote to him. I used the language very carefully. Said it was insular, isolated. That's not a lazy, the words you use casually. The president really is genuinely isolated. Whether it's by choice or by circumstances we don't understand, the bottom line is he ought to be available to a lot more of the people that he had trusted, either to run ministries or departments or to advise him. And he isn't. And that's a problem for the country, not so much for him. But it's a lot, because the president of Nigeria is a hugely powerful person, and he has
there's a lot of responsibility
on his shoulders.
Absolutely.
So if he's not going to look for solutions to problems from people that he had appointed, there are only two options that are left. Is he getting advice from the wrong people, or is he getting no advice at all? And there are other issues that I raised in my letter. I said somehow I just think, when I use the word insular, it really was about, when you hear people close to him speak about Nigeria, it's as if we live in two different worlds. And that is the most frustrating thing for me. We would leave the villa, we would go home, we would watch real people, and sometimes we would drive around, we go home, we mix with poor people. We knew how desperate the country is, how desperately life is. Difficult life is, the insecurity level, how high it is. People are losing hope, asking what is the value of this democracy. And sometimes they say, what are you doing there? We thought with people like you, we wouldn't be seeing some of these things. At least, are you guys really advising the president about some of these things? And it all amounts to this idea that the president is either not interested in getting advice, or is getting advice from the people that he hasn't appointed officially to give him advice. Either way, when I use those words, insular and isolated, very carefully, because that's exactly how I read it. I believe if President Tinubu was more open to suggestions and advice, and if he has higher quality of people handling sensitive positions for him, and he makes himself available to them, and they talk to him, and he tells them, they tell him what they think, I think the country will be better.
So are you going to...
This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. Since 1992, when I encounter you, I don't think this is the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know. That calls me his friend, and I call him my friend, and calls me my son, and I call him my father. This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know.
Mr. Akim Baba Ahmed was invited to come and chop. And let's say he grew a conscience. Oh, that's so rare. He grew a conscience. Felt like those people who are with Tifnumbu, like himself, they go home at night. They mix up with people, ordinary folks, who are going through hell. But when he opened up the TV, he will see his fellow advisor to Tifnumbu. Some of them, they've not seen Tifnumbu since they appointed them, right? On TV, telling you how Tifnumbu is so passionate. You know, Mr. President, I mean, I was with him. I was with him just yesterday. You see, we're discussing the modalities. We never see Tifnumbu for a very long time. He's just doing his own, he's only doing his job, they would say. Abi? What kind of advice do you give to Tifnumbu? What kind of people have access to Tifnumbu? What happened to those who are being paid your money? They're paying them the taxpayers' money in millions of naira. So do they just have to like look away, pretend? And if you hold them too much, they will tell you that Tifnumbu is doing something. They are working hard. They're working hard on it. Tifnumbu's policies are going to come back and everything is going to be fine later. So when I saw these people whose lands have been taken and no compensation paid for this coastal road to nowhere of Tifnumbu, they are Americans. They call themselves investors. Now, all the way from America, they are calling on Tifnumbu to please do something in helping them. Now, Baba Ahmed just told us that they no send now. They pay people to tell you what you want to hear. You need to understand that, okay? That people are paid to tell you what they want you to hear, not what you need to know. So their job is to lie to you, gaslight you, even blame you for why the contraption is not working. They do it all the time. Ronokus do that all the time. Yeah? So what will be your message for these people calling on call to help them and their investments? Less than every 2 weeks, except that they hold meetings. Is it like a rally in America?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Peter Obi. A Nigerian and also an American. A retired Army veteran, and I've lived in America for over 22 years now. My approach to this is going to be different because the current president is like a father to me. I was brought up by that family, so my approach is going to be different. So my thing about this is I'm also a subscriber to the Wins Homes, so I have a stake in that, in what is going on. But I'm just going to appeal to the president, like a father to me, that he should look into this and call his minister, Minister David Umahi, call him to a round table, ask him questions, you know, and have him do the right thing. Nobody's fighting him, nobody's saying what he's doing is out of, but he needs to do the right thing. He needs to follow the right path to success. You don't want to cut corners because you're trying to impress or favor your friends or whatever, and now you are now making other people suffer, you know. So the president should call him to order and have...
Because I felt it would be a good idea for us to live over there the way we live here. When you have your neighbor in Nigeria who happens to be your neighbor here in the US, then you guys know how things are being done. So you guys can conduct yourself properly. So these are the ideas that I bought into when I invested in this. And the fact of the matter here is a wrong was done that needs to be corrected. Okay, we're not fighting for what doesn't belong to us. We're saying there was a minister who was appointed as Minister of War, Engineer David Umahi, who was given a tax, a major project. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the coastal project. It's a gigantic project that will open up the country, you know, but it has to be done right. That's what we are saying. We are not saying the dreams and aspirations of the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should not be attained. We are solidly behind him, but we are appealing to him to intervene, to call the minister to order. We, the diaspora, we've lived abroad, we want to come back home. And we are saying these are things that have been done to us that we don't think is right, that needs to be corrected. I want to appeal to the Honorable Minister. I'm appealing because eventually we're going to take this to the height of it all. And we don't want to embarrass ourselves in our international community because we live abroad, so we can do a lot. And we don't want to do that.
Okay.
Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord.
So good luck with that, I hope, because it's unfortunate that Tifnubu doesn't use the social media anymore. And if you have forgotten, right, I can help remind you.
I don't read social media anymore.
And why?
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me.
You get that? So if you have a message for Tifnumbu, you put it on the social media, he's never going to see it. And when the Ronukus sees it, they will trivialize it, tribalize it, and turn it into something else. It's unfortunate. About Ibrahim Traore. A lot of you have been seeing different posts about Traore this, Traore that, especially the last assassination attempt that failed. So suddenly, Traore is having this, this sort of like viral acceptability among Black people all over the world, from Africa and then the world. Majority of them are making videos, right, to chastise America, the West, and all of them for always with this colonial, this and that, neo-colonialism, leave Africa alone. Africa deserves to be free. This is a guy who has a dream, all that stuff. This country has been so misruled. Can you believe that since the existence of this country, up to the time that this guy took over the country, 2 years ago, by the way, okay? And it was actually the same time when Kolu took Nigeria too. Kolu actually took over Nigeria. It's not your election. You know that, right? Good. So it was the same time. So this guy is getting all these positive vibes from all over the world. People are making videos. If America attempt to attack Burkina Faso, Mr. Ibrahim Traore, you know what? Open up the border, make the citizenship easier. Black people all over the world will come to Burkina Faso to defend Burkina Faso and defend motherland. Videos all over the place. And everybody is kind of like, oh, this looks good. Like, it sounds great, this and that, right? From nowhere, the Ronukus just suddenly became offended. Honestly, I don't know if you have possibly seen any of that. Serious, true story. True story. These crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass leakers, orisers, sewage dwellers. They were sad. We don't know what is wrong with all of you. Can you imagine? This country, Can you imagine Nigerians? They are praising a military junta. Can you believe that? What kind of generation is this? What kind of I was like, if you say something in that contraption right now, they will track you down and you'll go missing. In Nigeria, you'll go missing. Police are kidnapping citizens for politicians. Soldiers are kidnapping citizens for politicians. DSS kidnapping people for politicians and their friends. In Nigeria, in a democracy, DSS disobeying courts. In Nigeria, politicians disobeying courts. In Nigeria, and no consequences. And you still think you have a democracy? You've been for real? You can't be for real. Anyway, so they are now like, can you imagine? All these people are supporting a military man. Look at the country itself. Look at this and that. Baba, for 60 years of independence, now only 3,000 kilometers of road are tarred in tarred in that country. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not even the state capital. Okay, maybe I should put it into a context, right? You can understand it. Burkina Faso is not so massive of a country like Niger Republic. Now, let's use this rough estimate. It's not factual, okay? So it's going to be plus or minus, all right? Let's say the entire square miles of the entire country is put at, for example, let's say 600,000 square miles, right? And then from that, they say, oh, they have that kind of massive space, right? The most developed areas, so at least you should not have anything less than maybe 5,000 kilometers of roads. As a country, so nothing less than 5,000. And that itself is so inadequate, but it will be visible. In Burkina Faso, 3,000 tar road for 60 years. And in 2 years, this guy, and I have a video I am supposed to even have uploaded to show to you what Burkina Faso looks like. For those of you who might want to kind of understand what France and other Western power did to Burkina Faso for 60 years. And then Macron from France has vowed that they are not leaving Africa. It's not because they love us or love Africa, because they love what is under our land. Do you understand that? So if they have to kill all of us to protect what is under our land, under our land, they will do it without blinking. I'll show you what they did to Burkina Faso. Somebody made a video just yesterday, because it's like somehow, Burkina Faso is becoming what you can call the pilgrimage destination for Pan-Africanists, media, engineering, name it. All of others, right? People are just like going in there to see what they can do. And the Ronukus became so angry, so sad, that they actually support the invasion of Burkina Faso, because they've been hearing the rumor. Africom controlled by America, or this American bases in Africa. So the person who is in charge controlling it has been moving from one African country to the other, speaking to their leader to see how they can cooperate. They won't go to Burkina Faso with American soldiers. They won't go to Burkina Faso with French soldiers. They will go there with African soldiers. Who are the African countries who can do it? They are already speaking to Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. Yes, they are already speaking to Togo. These two countries do not even have any real soldiers per se. But somehow, you see, Ivory Coast is expected to lead the sort of like a conviction drive, okay, for why they have to install democracy in Burkina Faso. And when democracy is going to be reinstated in Burkina Faso, it must be over the dead body of Traoré. He has shown that it cannot be trusted by this colonist. So are they going to assassinate him? Will they be invading his country? The options are on the table, and the Ronukus don't mind. Baba, after 60 years, Ouagadougou is the capital of Burkina Faso. Ouagadougou. Do you want to see what it looks like as at yesterday? The capital of a country ruined by the West for decades. And right now, they will go to war to keep it. At least you can even see the airport. That tells you all you need to know. That is the place that Ibrahim Traore, Baba, the place be like they are just starting afresh. You don't understand? That they are just like starting to devise means or to become, what do you call it? Energy independent kind of, right? Have their own electricity grid, build hospitals, equip them. That he had to go abroad. When I say abroad this time, I think he actually went to Russia, right? And then he imported road construction equipment. I'm talking about heavy duty equipment. He brought them to his country with the intention of constructing at least 50,000 kilometers of road across the country. You know what he did? They said they brought the machine. He gave them to different districts and mark roads that will be constructed and reconstructed and the path and everything. So the machine will do all of that. The people are the laborers. It's like the people are rebuilding their own country as we speak, like starting from the scratch. All because France refused to let go. And like I said, a lot of people are kind of like interested in trying to say, no, Burkina Faso, if anything happened to Traore, if anything should happen to Traore, they are going to, you know. But the Ronuku Samunebu Nero BS, they were there to showcase the same thing they have been showcasing or doing in Nigeria, supporting all this evil machination of APC against their own fellow citizens. Now they are wishing same on their fellow Africans. But one guy took them to the cleaners, though, in an online engagement in a space, talking about Burkina Faso.
I have no problem with that. Just proceed.
And I'm not attacking anybody. Let me defend my position. I went to school inside the classroom, not in school compound. Therefore, I want to defend my position. First of all, I have been to Burkina Faso 6 times since the military coup. If somebody has just passed Burkina Faso by bus on his way to Senegal, thank you. I've gone there at different times. Mr. Wandera, on a number of occasions, I have called you when I'm in those places. And I've told you I'm here, look at this situation. I'm not here to contest ignorance. I'm here to tell what I know is Pan-African and African. I want to begin by asking Wandera, how many mobile ambulances does Kenya have? How many? Equipped with hospital equipment, nurses, doctors. How many? Does my Uganda have? Maybe it need not go to your Kenya. Beverly, you are here, you said all these type of things. How many does Kenya have? Mobile ambulances equipped with 2 doctors, 5 nurses, and other clinical officers driving into villages to treat people. How many? If they have, open the mouth and tell me now. How many? In Uganda, how many do we have? 0. How many Range Rovers do we have? Plenty, including my own country. How many Prados does Nigeria possess? What type of democracy, civilian democracy, does Nigeria have? 200 women, 400 abducted, kidnapped, hostage, a democracy. I'm coming to dissect you. Democracy. We need democracy. Is there democracy in Nigeria? It's a civilian government. Is it there? Tell the people, open your mouth here, and tell us all as Africans, there is democracy in Nigeria. Hey, we are doing very well. The Boko Haram is not there, and people in Southeast are not being killed. Everything.
Dr. Kennedy, please tell
No,
Dr.
let me
Machanga
go.
to...
I never
No.
I did not.
No,
Either you keep
Kennedy,
quiet
I've never
or
done this
you
before. I'm
talk
doing
to
it for the first
yourself.
time.
You
Please
talk.
stay on the track.
I am
You have
not.
abused
You are not my
Nigeria before,
teacher.
and I kept my quiet.
Yes, and I also kept quiet.
So please,
Shut up.
I've never talked
No.
about your country, Uganda.
You don't tell
Stick
me.
with the
You
issue.
don't. You
Kennedy,
can.
I'm very, very serious about...
Yeah. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Yeah. I've said we are not imposing our views on anybody here. And let's just stay on the topic. Dr. Machanga, I know it's your time to speak. View. Dr. Wode has said was from you experts as having a constructive engagement. Let's not deviate and go.
Any student of political science and international relations will know comparative politics. I'm not attacking anybody. If you have gone to school to study this subject, like my friend Wally has done, and Beverly has done, and you have done, I'm doing comparative politics. I'm not attacking anybody. Unless you didn't go to the real school. But if you went to the real university where I went, I'm doing comparative politics.
I have no problem with it.
So he's right. A typical Ronuku, Wale is the Ronuku in that space. Immediately, the truth hit him. He couldn't resist to push back. You are insulting my country. He said, what kind of democracy do you practice? Where the people are not protected? Women, children being kidnapped in Nigeria. Do you call that democracy? That's a fact. But he took it as an attack because you know what? He is the Ronuku. If you see anything about Tifnumbu, if you see anything about Nigeria, an automatic Ronuku will say, it's because you hate his tribe. It's because you hate Yoruba. It is all typical. They put themselves in conversation and then make themselves victims of it. All because of this druggie that sees power in Nigeria. They are now emergency lovers of Nigeria. They now love Nigeria. So if you criticize Steve Numbu, you are demarketing Nigeria. If you say truth or present a fact about Nigeria, you are demarketing Nigeria. You are demarketing a Yoruba man. And that is unforgivable. So this Ronukus, disgrace lot, or disgraceful lot, shameless lot. They say you can't shame the shameless, so or see all the kind of shame with these Olori Bukus are bringing back to Yoruba land. Right? Burkina Faso. Kilo Kongeni Ronuku with Burkina Faso. They said that, oh, Traore is paying people to do, what do you call it? He's paying people to do PR for him. Can you imagine all these people, all these idiots? Man, I can't believe that in my life. Oh, I will see Africans doing PR job for a military junta. The same Africans who have been bullied for decades, impoverished intentionally for decades, and made powerless for decades, unable to decide and choose their own leaders for decades. So the wish of most Africans is that those that are currently parading themselves as African leaders should be nurtured. I barely see any African country that the people right there right now are not looking for an alternative to get rid of their own political system. I don't think there is that much. Because that's the reality today. So an average Ronuku that is pretending to be patriotic, he is not. He is an hypocrite. There were Jamaicans who have also joined this. There were Africans who have been staging sort of like a solidarity rally protest across the world for this guy. Do you not understand why it is so? We have generation of Africans who have decided to dig up the truth about everything else they've told them, and they discover that they've been lied to. The involvement in assassination of African leaders by the West have been discovered by this generation, and somehow they feel like what happened to Thomas Sankara shouldn't happen to Ibrahim Traore, no matter how you see it, no matter which side you are. Because ordinarily, right, even during the colonialism, there were those who enabled the colonialists. They were willing to do all their bidding and ensure that they forced their own people to obey them for a stipend of reward. So there are those indeed who would want to be on the side of France. I just shared a video with you. That was a country run by France for over 100 years. Yeah. Did you see that? If their state capital, their country's capital could be like that, think about what the neighboring communities would be outside the country's capital. Just think of that. Meanwhile, those who run the country with France, themselves and their families have lifetime wealth reserved for them in France, while the rest of Burkinabes are living in a squalor. So to Jamaicans, if anything should push America or France to try to start to invade Burkina Faso, there will be more and more than just that invasion. Because a lot of them are willing. They are calling on him. Listen to this. They are calling on him to free the border. They are willing to come back home to defend Africa. So did he pay this ones for PR too? Ronuku, Ronu Nazis, Ronu bandits.
Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Selassie I, Empress Zero Menin, one perfect balance. Yes, people, upliftment, spiritually, mentally, physically, everything. Black people rise and shine, because this is the time to rise and shine. Because the enemy, we are at war first thing, people. Spiritual war, mental war, and it can get physical too. You know what I mean? But we are at war, people. They are warring against the African. An excellent brother, my little brother, Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso. They are warring against my little brother, that who has excelled himself in an order, the upright man that stand and put things in place for black people, that black people can see the truth, that black people can live properly, that black people can inherit the wealth of the land, what is theirs, that the black people can live more happy, that black people can be more better off than the old colonial system. You take off the old wigs that the old colonial wigs of shut them one side and put on new attire of Burkina Faso. He built hospitals, he built houses, he in cars. There's so much things that the man do. I can't even mention all. But listen, this is the brother that who's elevating black people in these times. We must not let the enemy, France and America, come and say that them they so want to come and arrest the man, want to kill he, want to destroy he, and take back over Burkina Faso. It is not going to happen on the I watch. Say that before you go asleep, when you wake, it's not going to happen. Say it in your heart, in your mind, live it. Black people rise up and they help defend. Don't touch Abraham Traore. No, don't fuck wrong Burkina Faso. Right now, my head hot. Last night, yesterday, and in my heart, brothers, you don't even know how I feel. It's insulting thing that a man doing good, and you believe that France and all them want to come because he kicked them out. They want to come and take back. They want to send terrorists in there so to devour and their brother and destroy Burkina Faso and turn it back into the colonial administration. For your burn that red hot, get to touch Ibrahim. All black people of the world. In the war, we rise up
Yeah. It be a revolution.
Rastafari,
Remember? Rev the energy there, man.
Yes, yes. And listen, this is a message to France.
Yes.
This is a message to America. This is a message to all them European colonial forces that's aligning themselves to go against Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
I am telling y'all, no, this is not in the days of Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, and Nkrumah, Gaddafi, and all the people of y'all killed them.
Yeah.
I feel like y'all get away with it. You see this one?
No.
That's
not the Lord's anointed.
I am telling you that this one, Ibrahim Traore, if you touch Ibrahim Traore, even if you in Barbados and when they got business in Barbados, it getting tossed over, it getting turned over because when a fucking wicked France, when there's a wicked set of fucking people,
fuckers,
and when they need to get disciplined, and if you think that you're gonna go down in Burkina Faso, if you think that you're gonna go in there and you're gonna kill that man, listen, when they're gonna see a judgment from France, and when they're gonna see a judgment from America that you never ever seen before, right? Listen, all black people, I don't care when it is all over the world.
Stop when they're
like
doing.
my brethren just said, all black people should say, do not touch that man. Let your voices be heard. Do not touch my Ibrahim Traore, because y'all gonna bring sickness on this planet. You hear me? And I, for one, ready to go and fight. I ready.
Listen,
I ready.
Make a placard and show it. Don't touch Ibrahim Traore. Even if you had to do a video, were you saying it?
Listen, we ready.
Let them know.
We ready. When they could just run over black people.
No.
I think this because y'all been
these
doing
days
it.
of slavery.
We think y'all been doing it for years. Y'all think that black people supposed to come and take. No, them days done.
You think
them
we
days
stupid?
done. We taking back what's ours too.
Yes.
I let everyone know that.
We taking
back what is ours. And try to stop me.
Those in the diaspora.
Try to stop me.
Those in the diaspora and those at home.
Listen,
stand firm. Put aside all differences. Put aside all ignorance. And let's stand together for Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim Traore. Stay out of Burkina Faso.
America and France.
Stay out.
Get the fuck out.
You fucking creeps.
That's right, man. Yeah, man. You know something about social media? It's such a very, very powerful tool, to mobilize your army. I'm telling you, all this guy needs is to tell them that buy a one-way ticket and join us in Burkina Faso, and you'll be like shocked at the number of people who have become so motivated, because they are motivated by the historical abuse and bullies of these colonialists. They are not going to they're not going to sort of like remove their knees from our neck. No, they won't. So there are those from this generation who believes that until the whole thing really meets the never seen before resistance, they are never going to stop. In Italy, some of them took to the streets, of course, with banners warning France and the West, leave Traoré alone.
Ils n'ont pas découvert ce qu'ils prennent au niveau d'Afrique. C'est pour ça qu'ils sont en train de mentir. Ils disent l'AES, c'est une zone rouge. Ils ont dit, c'est une zone rouge. Et France, ils ne peuvent pas porter l'AES. Maintenant, quand ils ont vu qu'il y a d'autres avions qui partent à l'AES, ils ont décidé de reprendre France, Mali, Niger. Capitaine Ibrahim Traoré a dit, vous avez dit que Burkina Faso, c'est pas un destination parti. Vous avez dit que l'AES est rouge. Maintenant que vous voulez partir, il faut écrire que l'espace AES est devenu vert. Pour ça, vous allez prendre le trajet entre Burkina, Mali, Niger, France. Ils sont pas prêts. Nous aussi, nous sommes d'accord que Air France, il vient à Bamako. Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord que Air France vient au Niger? Donc nous disons non Air France, non France 24, non.
Oh, let go. Leave him alone. They've been through a lot. And at the same time, if people says they've had enough, let it go. France, let it go. So to those of you who are Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis watching me right now, the bad idiots, the bad stabs, watching this, no matter how you probably see it, the rest of the world can see Ibrahim Traore fighting for his own country, genuinely. A country exploited for decades. A country impoverished intentionally. A country in an economic bondage to France. And somebody came and broke the chain and all hell let loose. So he's getting the support from the like minds, the Pan-Africanists, the normal true sons of Africa, that we can't just let them keep doing this to us. Because they have to use some of us to kill some of us and then blame it on some of us. So they didn't do it. They will say, oh, are you not people killing yourselves? They encourage you to kill yourselves. Then blame yourselves. So people won't want to sit back and look away. So that's one beautiful thing about social media, and he's having it. They said, Ronuku said, he rejected one slave master and jumped to bed with another slave master, Russia. But do you know that for the first time, this is the first time that the Burkina Faso military are actually getting real military training in 60 years. This is the first time they are getting real. When I say training, right? Like being trained, right? Counter-terrorism, as well as defending their country. Usually, they're just like a civil defense. That the kind of weapons that they are allowed to use by France is also, I mean, they have to be approved by France. Such a crazy place, what they did to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Or the typical Ronuku, they are like this equasin. What do you call equasin in English? Because I can't remember that one. No. Is it that smelly rat, right? Equasin. The Ronukus are like asin. Wherever they go, they smell, they stink. Horrible set of humans whose behavior have gone global. Americans know the Ronukus. The South Africans, the xenophobic South Africans who hate their fellow Africans anyway, they were there doing the same thing. Go back to your country. Go back to your country. Ronukus jumped into it and said, oh, now the Igbos chase them away. Now so that they do. Only to discover that there were more Yorubas than Igbos in South Africa. Seriously? And that was when they were like, oh, so the businesses that we are asking them to destroy, some of them are owned by our own brothers too. Ronukus. And something like that also transpired between a Ronuku and an American who couldn't understand why people who look the same from the same country could hate themselves this much. And the real ones who are pushing that are the Ronukus, generally called the Yorubas, because they are from Yoruba land, unfortunately. It's unfortunate. Disgracing us everywhere, all because of this druggie, giving us the names that are not that is not ours, destroying a long time reputation of being so hospitable, accommodating, and loving people. All of that. So they got us because of this Ronukus and their druggie, Jagabandi, Titifnubu. Listen to these exchanges between a Ronuku and an American on bigotry and tribalism. Disgrace.
Challenge Keshawn.
Skull
What
mining.
has he?
What
Okay.
the heck is skull mining? Where are they mining skulls?
So they don't. Yoruba tribe isn't.
Are you kidding me?
In skull mining.
You know, I don't want to
I'm
do
asking you a
tribalism
question.
here.
I'm asking you a
Every
question.
Nigerian know those stuff Kesh talking about haven't the most in Igbo land.
But Yoruba,
it's not something about Yoruba happening
You
in
want
Yoruba land.
Sweetie, a
Even a
woman
lot of
to come
people
save the
doing
day?
it in Yoruba land, many of them are still Igbos. That's
God.
what you don't know.
Well, that's a beef with them. That's the beef you got with them.
Hold on. No,
she's
always in that place.
That's what it is.
She's
They don't
always in
want
that
me to
place
listen to
supporting
Kesh. When I tell you, they get so offended when I listen to
that's
Kesh.
oppressive. We can't love our history.
None of them are paying none of my phone bills.
Listen, it's because the place is hateful. She likes it.
That's a lot of work.
The same way they always do the whole
God damn.
You will find them in hateful places. That's what I'm telling you.
Christ.
I'm in Yoruba spaces. I'm in Yoruba spaces, and
we
they're
gotta
hateful.
talk when they want us to talk.
I'm in Yoruba spaces, and they're hateful.
We gotta be black when they.
What are you talking about?
I've never seen you on Yoruba platform.
Just because you're not in there.
I've never seen you anywhere.
I can tell you a Yoruba space I'm in.
I've never seen you up there. Maybe you are in the comments.
That's because you're not there. You can't say that.
Which one?
And you know what the funny thing is? Igbos have never told me specifically not to go to people's lives or Yoruba's lives. None of that. But it's the Yorubas that be attacking me, telling me not to go to Igbo lives. And you're not paying my bill.
Right?
Now you can't go to live.
You know, that's why you.
And it's on TikTok. You can go in there.
That's a lot of stuff that we can't do.
You guys are not reasonable.
I see Africans in FBA lives. I see Africans over there going on Dr. No Jobs on his panels. What are you talking about?
Make lies, and you will ask me a question. I'll say, you know what? They won't let me talk here. Let me send it to you. You know what you did? You don't want to follow because you don't even need the proof. You just want to believe those little things you're hearing around, and you go on with it. So you guys are not really reasonable, and that's why everyone has.
And because we don't listen to what they say, we hateful. You hear this shit?
But how are they going to say I hate Africans when I'm listening to African lives? That's how I know that y'all talk about each other. That's how I know y'all be acting like y'all don't do the things Black Americans do. I hear Africans talk about each other.
So why
y'all be defending yourselves this hard in the mouth.
You said they'll have a topic and you will come up with something that don't have nothing to do with what they're talking about.
Because you are hateful.
I'm not hateful.
Listening to African lives doesn't mean you love it.
That's why he was there.
Y'all
remember this Black man?
You just like Mildred and all those stuff.
Y'all
remember Benjamin Banneker?
The only reason you go to African lives is so that you can say, I talk to Africans and they all say this.
That's not true.
That's why you do.
But you just said we're Africans, trust me.
That's not true.
You just said.
I listen for overstanding. Yes, they have their own perspectives in their lives. What's wrong with that?
Shit. It's like, I don't get it.
That boy Benjamin Banneker.
Y'all go to Dr. No Job Lives. Y'all go to FBA panels. Y'all have a whole panel.
Let's give them a big ass hug. I
talk about
Benjamin Banneker big ass hug.
Was calling himself African.
I think we need to give us a big hug because they feel left out. I'm really starting to feel.
Benjamin Banneker on.
Typical Ronukus. They will gaslight you. That at a point you begin to be like, the girl was like, no, I'm not hateful. Say, but you go to the Igbo people's live. You must be an hateful person to be attending the Igbo people's live. Say, no, I go there. Igbos have never told me not to attend the Yoruba people's live. It's only the Yorubas who have told me never to attend the Igbo people's live. So I'm not hateful. No, you are hateful. You are hateful. You are attending the Igbo's live. You are hateful. I'm telling you, you are hateful. Say, no, I'm not. No, that's called gaslighting. You get that now? You'll be like, oh, does that mean I'm hateful? If I go listen to Africans, right, talking about some tropical or what have you issues, and I listen to them. So does that mean if I listen to this group of people who are Africans, I'm a hateful person? Because that's what this person just said. And I have never, right, been told the same by the people that they said are hateful. You know, that's called gaslighting. You begin to wonder, have I done anything wrong? Does that mean I am You know what I mean? They do that all the time. So typical Onokus, they are everywhere. Any given opportunity, it is all tribalism, bigotry, tribe this, tribe that. Here you get every given opportunity. Fortunately, those who are doing everybody shaggy, they are not being selective. Like I told you, the only democratized thing or reward in Nigeria right now is injustice, as typically captured on the streets. Have you heard the arrest of Mr. E-Money? He has a name. I think it's called something Okowa. His name. Is he Emeka? Eh? Yeah, he is Emeka. At least all of you know him as E-Money. He's the Tifnumbu, one of the Tifnumbu's foot soldiers, association by crookedness or crook. I call that association by crookery, crookery or criminality by association. It is like you feeling like you are doing something legit, but it is not so legit. Or even if it is legit, in Nigeria, it will still be considered as not completely legit. So how do you now protect your assets in such a system? You have to parley with those in power. In this case, it is the turn of Tifnumbu the druggie. So he campaigned for him like others, like himself, billionaires, I think, right? Until the news broke yesterday that he's been arrested by the EFCC. What did he do? He's accused of defacing the Naira. The same sort of like a crime committed by the Okoya's sons. Remember that time? About in Nigeria, if they tell you, say, your citizenship is fake, stop calling yourself Nigerian or proud Nigerian. You are just a proud slave. It is disgraceful. Honestly, it is actually disgraceful for you, if you understand Nigeria, to beat your chest as I'm a proud Nigerian. I feel sorry for you, but again, it is your right, your prerogative, right? Okoya's children were seen, like spraying Nigerian Naira, defacing it in a video, and a police officer attached to protect them, as usual, was seen in the video as well. Guess what? When the EFCC was contacted, I said, EFCC, do something. EFCC not to do anything because they are the children of a billionaire. One. In order not to look like they didn't do anything, Baba, the following day, they arrested the police officer. Yeah, they arrested the police officer. Why? Oh, you're asking me why? Well, they gave reason. They said they arrested him because he couldn't caution the billionaire children who were defacing the Naira. They didn't arrest them. They arrested those ones. So E-Money is believed to be a billionaire, which means he belongs to the clubs of Dangote and Co. as they portray themselves on social media. They have all the connections and this and that. So what is missing? Why would the EFCC arrest him and lock him up? Because people sprayed him money at his own Easter party. Then he stepped on a Naira note. A lot of people have been asking and then wondering why it is Nigeria. Now everybody go collect.
It's not a good morning for me. I am Nigerian, and I'm in Diaspora, and everybody that knows me, that I try as much as possible to portray Nigeria abroad in good light, to show them that we are human beings. And, frankly, I went to Nigeria last time. It was really good. We enjoyed ourselves. But sometimes you hear some things on the media that will embarrass you as a person. How much more Nigeria? It will embarrass you because it still remains that the leadership and the establishment you have back home, they don't know much. I know everybody keeps telling me, Dr. Zoe, avoid politics, avoid religion, all that, but I'm a human being. I have to say it as it is, and as it hurt me. Look at the case I woke up this morning to see. Hey, if EFCC arrests E-Money, because he stepped on a naira note. Let me tell you guys, no matter anybody that will talk about this case online, there's nobody that is closer on that stage past me. And I mean, they tell you so. I'm a witness. I was there. This man did not touch your naira. Yes, there was one riffraff on the floor that sprayed money. Remember, look at that video. Obi left the stage, and Obi made sure he called people to go and pick up those money. Maybe one or two, they didn't pick it up. I don't know. I wasn't sure, but maybe Imani stepped on it. And mind you, there were over 3,000 people there. 3,000 people. Oh, EFCC arrest Imani because he stepped on Naira mutilation. You guys, to be honest with you, in fact, EFCC, I'm disappointed with you people. I'm disappointed. When I came back here, I called my mom. I called a lot of it. I spoke with a lot of politicians back home in Nigeria. I said, let's start doing things. We're looking for how to move projects here. But after seeing things like this, Muna, keep on Nigeria. I know they come. I know they come. Because you guys are not ready. Out of all the crime that is existing in Nigeria, the one that you find most grievous is Imani stepping on Naira notes. So that you go harass him one side, collect money. Let me tell you something. Imani himself is not my friend, my younger brother's friend. We are not particularly friends. But what is good is good. I don't even want to enter Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa sentiment, whether you're doing it because I don't know. I don't want to enter there. Just what is glaring to the naked eye is glaring. We abroad want to come home, but the kind of things you guys do there make us, in fact, I don't even know how you people, the mindset you people you think there is wrong. Nigeria, we are smart people, they respect us here abroad, but you people back home keep drawing us back. We take one step forward, your establishment and the government to push us 20 steps backward. What an embarrassing thing to see this morning. Imani, step on Naira notes. Tomorrow on our headline. You don't see all the politicians, all the crimes where they commit that. You don't see that. I saw it in 5 days in Nigeria. Go and chase after that. Do the right thing. Do the right thing for yourself. If I talk now and say so, we talk. It's wrong.
The rich also cry. Everybody go collect. That one, no, can make me a philosopher. Say, wow, Mayego, you are a philosopher. So what did I do? You said, in Nigeria, now everybody go collect. Baba, you are right. Now all of us, they collect. That line alone can make me a philosopher. Labors. That line alone, it's enough to make me a philosopher. Say, common sense. Oh, now no go give me my card. Now no go give me my flower. Because I just say them to you without putting tone. Gang. Word. Mayegun, word. I enter any joint. I say, brother. You want make I shock you? Say, wait till happen. Say, well, I want to say something. Do you know that in this country, now all of us go collect from the shege that is available, and everybody will collect according to their own size. Now, joint a day, you go see on road there, they will say, wisdom. Everybody go collect. Whether you are in the diaspora or you are inside the contraption. Whether you are rich or you are poor, it doesn't matter. Whether you are powerful or you are powerless, now everybody go collect according to your size, according to their sizes. Shoki, what do you think?
Nigerian people, make we pray. Nigerian people, make we pray. Nigerian people, make we pray. Nigerian people, make we... Look, today, now I know say to become poor man picking for Nigeria. Now, cause. And if I dey watch the reason why they arrest him money, they say because he match naira. But Okowa children, wetin una do them? Because their papa na Okowa. But remember, Okowa no come from rich home. Na him work hard for him children to dey enjoy wetin they enjoy. Him money na boy wey grow for Ajegule. But I bring down my last post because I want to do am because I see wetin some people they write. Look, we just sit down. They look every small way concern poor man picking. Then Nigeria will take him. They blow him out of proportion. See that boy in Ajegule them born am. Najegule, that boy grow. He grow from nothing to become what he be today. I don't know the reason why EFCC go do this kind of stupid thing when they do so. That other they be Okowa children. They on arrest policeman will be poor man, but not even wanna do rich man picking. This one, believe me, we be musician. Now the waiting we they live with, now the way people they response to our performance. Our society, that thing don't they go on for donkey years before they even born the person will be yes chairman. And thank God they be Yoruba man. Now they do one by one and they spray money. Many of our musicians today, waiting they take become something. This is our money where they pay them for show. Now spray money. Now our lifestyle, our gratitude, where people they do. See, look, if you know the way that where that boy grew from, you go understand the pain. I come back for this life because I say the last thing when I put some people they justify why EFCC go arrest them. I don't say make EFCC no arrest anybody, but do them the right way. Let justice go for even every not be say because your papa na this one no it no good. It no good. You understand me? This thing don't get the see right now. Many musicians don't they look them. No one feel come and talk say look this thing na event. I be for America here. He say they talk for he say he go beyond the foreign exchange something. For America here they spray money for club. They spray money for event. Now then dollar. For the UK, they spray money. Now, waiting, you got any process the person do anything wrong? Look, now this one, una go no say una do wrong one. I bring down my other post because of waiting people they talk. Me, they go everywhere, they perform. Every people try to appreciate person. So the thing one they do maybe because if money na Jegule picking a poor man picking, he not come, he not get family. Now when I want destroy him. Now wait till me I see when I want destroy him. Look, anybody will like come from my page, come type something. Now the truth me I dey talk. Give if you try do for rich man picking, do for poor man picking. Maybe because one person papa na billionaire. But this boy too work hard. Not being papa, na him. Then work hard to be where in the. All of us with this, I know what I go through for my life from my Jegule to reach where I did today. So if you come for my page, when I talk something where it touch me, now your business, go down your own page, leave my page.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am mumu na too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise?
They wise. How many times will they tell you that Nigeria is not for you? Eh? How many times? Talking about injustice, the least demography that suffered most from the Nigeria failed system, the demography that suffers most from misgovernance, they are the demography of the children. Children. When you look at what they are subjected to, the first question that should come to your mouth or mind should be, wetin these children do this Nigeria politician? Wetin they do there?
I was wondering what was happening here, how people just gathered. I now found out that these school children were trying to gain entrance inside their school premises. This is interesting. This is interesting. We're just at the beginning of rainy season, and this is happening. They are trying to gain entrance inside their school premises. Come, our very dark brother, please. You've been going abroad to help other children. Please come and help us here. This one day, your Shokoto. Please, I'm tagging you. Come and help these children. This water is not healthy. You need to see the water. It's green. It's one greenish color. Please come and help. Oh, we need your help. We need your help. These children need your help. Please, this one day, your Shokoto. Please.
Classroom of Okowa Secondary School. See, a bomb blast happened for a year. I'll be waiting. Wait, let me enter inside and see. Oh, wow. What exactly happened here? Was it a bomb blast or what? See school. Echo Project 2014. See classroom. See classroom. You should come and see windows of a secondary school. See school environment as it looks like bush. Wow. Wanna see you. See classroom. No window for this one. See classroom window. Wanna see you. Jesus Christ.
So normally the first question that should come to your mind would be, what could have been the offense or the crime or the sins of those children that they have to be subjected to this way of life at that very innocent age, showing them that now your country be this so, now your country be this so, you know, get another one, now your country be this so, hey. Your country be this for children. That's what they have been exposed to. They will grow up. Many of them will grow up to normalize that kind of lifestyle. And they would want their children Or maybe they don't. Maybe they do, right? They want their own children to experience it because it will make them stronger. It will make them understand life. Because you see, those children, their own parents, when they were kids, were subjected to something similar. And they are going through it now. Some of them will grow up to normalize it. So when you say, hey, what kind of thing is this? This is a very, very wrong. Well, it's not that bad. This one is even better. Have you seen the one from the other part of? Say, are you mad, Dini? I'm talking about this one. This is very wrong. No, this one is better. It's not that bad. Yeah, the water, they smell. But I mean, I've seen worse. Those who always normalize abnormalities. Esan local government in Edo State, there were children who were lying down on the bare floor. And it's a classroom, just so you know. Edo State.
This is Aburu Primary School, Ewato, Esan Southeast Local Government, Edo State. As you can take a look, children are writing on the floor. You know, you see, they use a slab to lie down. You know, they don't have a single chair. Look at the blackboard. Look at the blackboard. See children on the floor. We are calling on the Edo State government, State Universal Education Board, SUBER, to please come to the aid of Aburu Primary School, Ewato. They need chairs, and as well, they need teachers. These children are the futures of tomorrow. So if they continue like this, I don't think we will have the next generations. Please, I'm calling on the Edo State government once again, the State Universal Education Board, and all well-meaning Edolite to please come to our aid. Thank you.
You see, when you meet some of the victims of failed governments in Nigeria, including children, and then you go understand why they ended the former national anthem with "So help me God." So help you God. Because we are talking about education, we are talking about children, despite against all odds, right? They are still trying to acquire education. What about those who have signed up to further help those who are exploiting their mineral resources all the way from Zamfara? You've heard about how volatile Zamfara is, right? Insecurity, kidnapping, all this stuff. There's a video that just emerged, right, of a Chinese who had their own mining site in Zamfara, Nigeria. Oh, you must have seen this. Take a look. It is from Nigeria. I don't know how to react to that, but I'll leave it to you. Because lately, I seems to be coming with so much to share. Now, please, I know I haven't taken calls in a while, but tell me, do you think this is boring? Like the last 3 hours? Like non-stop, uninterrupted, one topic from one topic to the other, to the other, to the other, and all that. Do you think it's boring? No. No, I would disagree even if you say it is boring, because usually there are some of you that at the moment I say, now let us go and take calls, I'm going for a break, you just see that 2,000 people will suddenly drop down to 1,400. 600 are already like, you know what, I've had my ego, that's enough. I'm not trying to scrap phoning, no, I'm not scrapping it. So I'm just saying that I'm experimenting with a lot. And eventually what works is what we're going to stick to. And we can't stick to one thing for too long. We can always like diversify. Did you enjoy it, right? You can't be bored with me. Ordinarily, you can't. I don't even have anything to say. I can begin to crack you all up using the same event happening everywhere to crack you up. It's just that tonight is a serious one. It could be having a cracker. No, we're almost done now, because it's almost time for us to say good night. But before I do that, I still have a few things to share with you. So let me take a tea break. And I want you to listen to Parash's brother. He's got something new to say.
For police station for Nigeria, then come up police generator and their tire, their patrol van, thief come out. They look for the thief where come up police tires for police station. Police were supposed to protect people, then they rob them, come out their tires, steal their generator. Aso Rock, we promise lights, they don't go do solar lights. Lights don't feel happen again. They don't face sun. And they promise us lights. Army we're supposed to they protect us. Army self they pay ransom to release their general from bandits. Waiting remain. NEPA we're supposed to give us lights. Now generator then they use. Nothing remain. They just say na chop and chop. Hope don't go. But with you and I, we can bring the hope back. Don't give up.
See, thank you so much, your bro. E8. African Wala, you are also right. Like, it's almost like everybody didn't want to leave. Like, everybody's staying, right? People don't want to leave. And it's like a very long 3 hours where people stayed. I'm talking about the viewers, right? They stayed the same for 3 straight hours. That's incredible. So that tells that you all enjoyed it tonight. It's worth it. It's worth every second, right? It must. I've got great stuff to share with you to keep your mind so kind of like refreshed, watered, so that you can be able to continue to undo whatever it is that the contraption throws at you. Trust me. Sometimes you don't even know what the contraption is throwing at you until it is about to strangulate you. That's why you're like, speak up. Even when you are not in that contraption. Everybody, they collect. But people where they inside, they collect more. Meet them.
Last question. In your next life, will you still like to be in Nigeria? In short, I don't want to be in Nigeria again. In short, I mistake to come to Nigeria. Yes. Me, as I do like this, I mistake to come in Nigeria. There's one upon me. In the US, I do.
If in my next life, if I want to be in Nigeria, this is a very difficult question. Yes, sir. In the sense that I have been in Dubai, I have traveled in Dubai. The very first day I landed in Dubai, I felt I should remain there. I get my point. So if things change, yes. if I'm as a little baby coming out from my mother's womb, yes. If I peep and see that Nigeria is still the way it is, I will not come out. I will stay and see. If there's an opportunity given to me to peep and see whether the country has changed or not. If it has not changed, I will not come here.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With this
And if I say how I will change it in my entire name, my entire family to out from Nigeria, I will jackpot.
It's true. It's what he's talking is the correct something. I'm not going to be because what I'm seeing here is too much for me. I'm hungry, killing everybody. People are dying because of hungry. Hardship. So I'm not happy.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
No. I will never be a Nigerian in my endless life.
Where would you like to be?
I would like to be at least Ghana or Cameroon, because being a Nigeria is a problem. It's been a way a person is always a night place. Nigeria is like night.
Nigeria is the world power.
Nigeria is just
like America. Nigeria don't become like America.
No. No. I would like to. Why I mention Ghana is for them to know the lower country that we are better before is not better than us. That is why I mention Ghana. Not that I don't know any other place higher than we measure. So everything is bad. Yes.
Okay.
Next life now, you would like to be in Nigeria.
If they say make I be Nigeria, I don't want to be Nigeria.
You don't be in Nigeria for
I'm not going to be Nigeria.
So you are tired of this.
I'm tired of this country, wallahi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your next life now, do you still like to be in Nigeria?
No, there's nothing will make me be a Nigeria in my next life because the country is gone. As long as I'm concerned.
Thank you so much, sir. Would you like to be in Nigeria?
No. I even prefer to go Niger where then they do the investment. Where our Nigerians they do investment.
Niger where the real cow.
Yeah, I will go there. I might start business. Whether I will pick up there.
All right, senior man, thank you.
For Nigeria, no hope again.
All right, thank you. God bless you.
This life, no, God forbid. I won't be a Nigerian person again. By God's grace, I believe in God.
Rather be a Biafra, the last guy. Mr. Infidel, thanks so much for your generosity. The super chat, thank you. Did you guys see that second man in that video, that old man? Even at that age, the old man is trying to escape from what Nigeria has shown him. Every person in that video, they have a story to tell. Every face you see in that video, right, is boldly written what Nigeria has shown them. They know they tell, but they know they tell a person. They know they tell a person. Yeah, tell a person. They know they tell a person. Because when the do enter body, enter body. When the do enter body, brother, enter body. Body go tell. Nobody will need to tell you. That is what the contraction represents. Unfortunately, a lot of us have so much, we have this, stronger threshold for holding pain, while others can't really hold it that long. Unfortunately, majority of us are taught and possibly conditioned or raised to learn how to hold the pain in. When the do enter body, bros enter body, you go they shake, even you go shake body like that. You know what I mean? Everybody will react. So, on that is where Pat Utomi comes in. To Pat Utomi, election can't save you from the hands of Tifnumbu. Election can't. So what can save you? If everything else is going to fail, what else will work? Utomi told AIT this.
There's a crisis of elite in Nigeria. Once you bring these same people, it doesn't matter who, you will get the same results you have now. The Nigerian elite entered political life bargaining with one another for accommodation in how to exploit Nigeria. They didn't come as a national redeeming elite, sacrificing to build a great nation. At any point where one group seems to be extracting more rent than the other, another group raises a ruckus enough to see if the thing will come to them so that they will be the ones now sharing and not building a nation. So it's more fundamental until the political class recognizes that they are not working in the interest of the Nigerian people. That they've made democracy government of politicians, for politicians, by politicians, which your guest was saying, instead of a government of the people, for the people, by the people. focus must come now to the people, not these guys coming together, those guys coming together. It was done in 2013, 14, resulted in Buhari's. Let us begin by changing the very idea of what politics is and what power is and how it should be used. If we don't change that, it doesn't matter who comes together, who gets in, who removes who, it is going to be the same. We need new thinking about politics, and politics about service to the people, and that when the common good applies and the people don't suffer, everybody thrives, including those elites. But right now, the nature of the bargaining between elites in Nigeria for accommodation, which started and has continued since the beginning of the creation of the Nigerian Federation, has not worked in direction that favor the people after the First Republic. And we must change that. That is a more important problem now than who is coming together to negotiate or bargain for what. I mean, in all these conversations,
anybody said to Afresh said to it. That's last. Afresh said to it. But until that time that you have the critical mass or reaches the critical mass, I think everybody should have food around. So on that note, I will be closing with this. Again, poor man Pekin. Poor man Pekin. Poor man Pekin. You say, what in poor man Pekin do the establishment in Nigeria or the rich? Nobody can explain. So this was, again, early this morning, in the middle of the night, somewhere in Lagos. Wahabi, Wule Wule, take us on a tour.
No beat you, ẹjọ́ mo ń ṣe fídíò, no beat you, no beat you, no beat you. No beat you. Expanding, man. Expanding, man. Expanding. Look here. Yeah, stand up. Hey, look here. Oh yeah.
On that note, we have come to the end of tonight's session, and it's been a wonderful time that I have had with all of us here tonight. So if you have had the same, like the broadcast, subscribe to my channel, set your notification on, and of course, I'm going to see you again tomorrow. So to support my channel, to support me, you have the link in the Africa Walla, right? You have the comment in the you have the link in the comment. I think I've got that. GoFundMe, the PayPal, or have you buy me a coffee, super chats, and to every one of you who have always been here. So I want to say thank you again. I'm going to see you again. That's going to be tomorrow. Until then, Okunasha, take her easy, stay safe, and be very watchful. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o ákàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.